On your left, Joseph Hurt on your right, Counters Company and Titan Shift. And it looks like Hurt up a game here. Actually, a pretty tough matchup here for Counters Company if Titan Shift has a lot of interaction. Speaking of those cards, that's of course Bolt and Anger of the Gods, stuff like that. However, Counters Company has the ability to do this, which is I'm going to put you to the test right away with a Devoted Druid, and you better have a piece of interaction.
And it's not like Titan Shift is that flush with interaction. Even the builds that play Bolts aren't necessarily playing 4 copies. So if you're able to fend off the infinite mana, I agree, then you can. It's not like Counters Company interacts against Primeval Titan all that easily or Valakut, so you're usually in the clear. But you have to have removal spells early on in the game, and Titan Shift doesn't play a whole bunch.
Taking a look at the interaction that Joseph Hurt does have access to, 3 Lightning Bolts and 3 Anger of the Gods in his main deck. Not too much others in the sideboard either. Stomping Ground. That'll be untapped. There's an Explorer. Draw a card, picked up a copy of Lightning Bolt. Does he have a red source? Yes, he does.
Ooh, if you got a Lightning Bolt here, I mean, even if Tickal can't combo out.
Yeah, I do not like waiting because you've given him the opportunity to just do other things with that mana that he wouldn't be able to do otherwise. So what Tickal has done here is he's played Court of Calling to go get, well, he can get whatever he wants now. That's the other problem. Because this is a court for 2.
Yeah.
You're killing it in response, which means if it resolved, he would have just gotten Vizier. He can just now get another Devoted Druid.
Exactly. I mean, this is kind of the best case scenario here for Hurt is you get him to do something thinking he can combo off, and you get him. But you don't really get to get him because he just tutors for something else. Devoted Druid, it isn't just it's a piece of an infinite mana combo. It's also just a mana elf. And if you're going to use the Bolt anyway,
Might as well just kill it straight away.
What happens if Tickal plays a land and just says go? It's like, now.
Yeah, what are you going to do now?
Now what do you want to do?
That's one of those cases where instants don't need to be played as instants.
Yeah.
They can just be played as a sorcery removal spell to kill your creature. Secure a Tri-Belter, pass the turn back. Collect a Company the draw.
Yeah, I mean, he got to tutor for another Devoted Druid as backup here. If you had bolted straight away, then he would just play Knight of the Reliquary or something and say go. Very, very modest play here.
That said, Hurt is still alive, at least for right now. As I mentioned, Tickal did pick up a copy of Collect a Company. If I'm Tickal, I'm casting Company right now. He has a win if Hurt has no piece of interaction.
Yep. Because the infinite mana kills in these decks typically involve being on your own turn.
Yeah. If he companies into Vizier, gets infinite mana, play the Witness, get back to Cord for Duskwatch Recruiter infinite times for Ballista, assuming Ballista's still in his deck, kill him. I suppose there are some versions of this deck that can kill on the opponent's turn. You don't see them very often. So I'm curious why Tickal has opted to wait.
Yeah, I'm searching right now for is there a way to win on the opposing turn. I don't believe he can.
There's a Valakut. There's an Hour of Promise. Well, the coast is about as clear as it's ever going to be.
We're going to find out now.
Yeah. Hour of Promise, a card we can take a look at. I know it's one that people haven't really seen a ton of recently. Search your library for up to 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. Then if you control 3 or more deserts, create 2/2 black zombie creature tokens.
And I think Tickal here was considering a Ghost Quarter. I don't think that really cuts Hurt off in a meaningful way.
Nope.
Because you search for a mountain, and then the Hour Promise, it's not only basics. You can go ahead and get a Valakut and a mountain and still kill the Devoted Druid.
Here's Collect a Company. This is in response to Hour of Promise. I feel like Tickal's made this very hard on himself.
Well, if he doesn't have a way to combo off here, he's in a lot of trouble. Because he can get some random value creatures or Knight of the Reliquaries or whatever, but it's very likely Hurt overpowers him very easily just by making land drops, to say nothing of comboing out the next turn. I think his leftovers was at least Summoner's Pact or Primeval Titan, and that's a lot to work through here in Tickal's spot. I agree with you. I think previous turn Tickal should have just gone for it. It's just unlikely that Hurt has another bolt, and your win rate there is you have a good shot of winning the game, and now it's a lot more challenging.
But you also got to one of the things I always try to think about when I'm just playing Modern in general is, this is not a format where you wait.
No.
This is not we'll wait and see how things go, because if you wait, you die.
Yep.
That's what the format is based on. No one's trying to do anything fair here. So this will be a Ghost Quarter activation. So what I think we're going to see here is we're going to see Hurt search for a mountain. And then when Hour of Promise resolves, you search for a Valakut and a mountain.
And I imagine here you just take care of the Devoted Druid to cut off the infinite mana possibilities, and then force Tickal to try to win with just a grindy green-white deck.
You aren't beating Titanship with a grindy green-white deck. Ain't happening.
Well, Knight of the Reliquary gives you some. You can hope to cobble together enough Ghost Quarters and such if Hurt gets sloppy with how he deploys his Valakuts, but it's still unlikely.
I would buy into that plan if your deck is Todd Stevens' deck.
Right, where you have
if you're dedicated to that. Absolutely. A couple stray Knight of the Reliquary activations here and there, not so much, especially if Hurt knows how to manage his resources.
And Tickle's only got 2 in the deck.
That makes it even less viable.
Yep.
Tireless Tracker is going to come down. Now we're going to have another Reliquary activation. We'll see what Knight wants to search up. It could be that second Ghost Quarter, and it will be.
I mean, this is Tickle's best line from here. He can't let Hurt untap with the Valakut on the battlefield. So this is where we're at.
Tickal should get a clue so long as he has announced the trigger there on the tracker. There is a lot going on here. But there's your clue token. And now he's going to Ghost Quarter away Valakut. I think.
Yeah. A little confused here by the Valakut on the battlefield.
Yep. Maybe that was in the draw step. I guess. Yeah.
Sure.
It sounds like there's no disagreement in communication. So it must be some verbal communication that we are, of course, not hearing. Just looked a little strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, ball during the draw step, so we're clear. Well, is it prime time, perhaps? Hurt with access to 8 mana right now, it looks like.
Yeah, if there's any hesitation here, it has to be about considering what happens if Tickal has a third Ghost Quarter, whether it's through Knight of the Reliquary or whether it's something he can witness back. Because 2 of them are gone, and I believe Hurt only plays 3.
He does only play 3.
So if that's the thing you're considering, you would prefer to be as bursty as possible, where you play Primeval Titan and then follow up with additional land drops and try to destroy so much that even if Tickal can Ghost Quarter the last Valakut, if you can't kill the Primeval Titan, you just might be able to race that way.
Yep, that'll just win the game all on its lonesome. Well, there's prime time. wants to cast it with different mana. I guess that's fine. There's Valakut. Cinderglade, trigger. Let's take care of that tracker probably.
I don't know. In this spot, I think I would err towards getting rid of the Noble Hierarch. I think your position becomes so overwhelming if nothing too bad happens next turn that I'd rather cut him off of mana.
Okay. Well, that's what's going to happen. Here, search tomorrow and suspend. Pass turn bat. Let's go back over to Tickal. Swamp the draw. Might do it the dirty way here with Primeval Titan attacks.
Yep. I mean, Tickal has an Eternal Witness here. He can go and get that Ghost Quarter. And it's not game over for her, but I don't believe he has a way to pull one out of his graveyard, right? So he's just got to play. He just got to play regular Magic without Valakuts. Now Tickal, with the Knight of the Reliquary, can basically get to 3 mana and not make his land drop. That will allow him to play Eternal Witness and then Ghost Quarter as his land drop for the turn.
See if he sees that line, if he wants to trust that line.
I can't imagine allowing her to go to next turn. And the only blocker here is if he was out of lands to Night for, but that seems impossible. I mean,
I would be shocked. Gonna get a Field of Ruin. Another clue.
I guess that's the alternative to the Eternal Witness line.
Yeah.
You just do this.
And he definitely can beat 6/6 Titans.
I mean, his Knights next turn are going to be large enough to just block, so he'll be okay.
Here's Eternal Witness. Get back a Ghost Quarter. You got a Ghost Quarter now, I imagine. Another clue token. That's his first played land of the turn. Remember, Field of Ruin came via Knight of the Reliquary. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I was gonna say I would kill it now. This is in the draw step again. Okay.
Yep.
Weird shortcutting, but
yeah, I mean, it's a little odd because some of it is the way things have been tapped and untapped, confusing about whose turn it is.
Yeah. I don't want Joseph Hurt to draw a card again because he's already drawn his card and already done what he needs to do with search. So, yeah, don't draw a card. Primetime. Trigger. Tickle's going to fall down to 10. Cinderglade Mountain. All out of Valakuts. Acid Moss. Okay.
Great.
Kill your Field of Ruin. Search up a land. Get us another Cinderglade. So, as someone who's played a decent amount of Titanship, you get to the point now where you need to just find either running packs or Titans, whatever. Maybe a Tireless Tracker that you can really beef up. Stuff like that.
The Knight of the Reliquary feels like a check mark from here. Once the Primeval Titan's not big enough to get through on the ground.
What you need to do is you need to build a board. You need to build a battlefield of creatures. That's what you have to do.
Ambitious.
So if he has a tracker, he can start chaining into other creatures and then try to attack with just everything in one turn. Ambitious is the right word. You're dead on.
Ambitious, optimistic. Let's go with
that works too.
optimistic.
That works too. It's all of those things. But that Knight of the Reliquary is definitely huge. We don't know exactly how big it is, but we know it's bigger than 6/6. This could just be a lethal attack. Yeah, sack a clue. Okay, so it is. Fair enough. Matthew Tickal, Joseph Hurt, they're going to get ready for a third and final game, it looks like. Well, it was a slightly confusing end to game number 2 there. But Matthew Tickal did attack for lethal. Joseph Hurt did concede the game, and now they're shuffling up for their third and final one. Not even going back to the drawing boards because, as you can see there, the clock, Patrick, not a lot of time left.
No.
Weird build of Titan Shift here from Joseph Hurt with only 3 Valakuts and only 3 Titans as well. He skimped on a couple of the pieces, maybe expecting his Valakuts not to die, which was not the case that particular game.
Well, I've seen lists going as low as 2 and up to 4. And some of it is the Valakut is not the best card to naturally draw in a lot of the faster matchups. You'd rather just make your natural land drops and combo out. The more that you go up, the more that you sacrifice a little bit of speed to be able to endure the Ghost Quarter, Field of Ruin kind of stuff. I don't have a personal sense of what the number would be that I would choose personally, but since I've seen that range, it suggests to me that the number of Valakuts you play is a function of the metagame and not just what's the right way to build the deck in absolute terms.
That's fair. That's fair. There are some flex slots here in this deck.
Yeah.
There are, of course, some cards you're always going to play, like 4 copies of Scape Shift and Search Tomorrow. But for the most part, yeah, there are some flex spots here. Well, Tickal looks like he's going to finish sideboarding up here very quickly, so we are going to talk to you about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale where, yes, you can save up to 20% off select Eternal Singles.
Yep. Sale ends Monday around 11 o'clock in the morning, so if you want to get in on 20% off select Eternal Singles, make sure to do that now, and make sure to be checking back to the website once a week for the new sale over at go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale.
Lots of goodies over there. A new sale, as Patrick mentioned, Monday morning. That'll be a nice one, too. Already taking a look at that. What holiday is Monday? Is there a holiday?
Memorial Day.
That's it. New sale Memorial Day. Hey. Oh, there's just a bunch of lightning angels for sale. My favorite creature. They need to reprint that. Is that a good card to have around? Lightning angel?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a for modern level for play, it's a little redundant with Mana Sprider, but yeah, it's good gameplay.
Search Tomorrow on to suspend.
One of the iconic victims of Flame Tongue Kavu's printing.
One of many creatures that it killed.
Well, it was the most. I mean, it was 3 colors and 4 mana and couldn't defend itself. I mean, that's about as and a fun, attractive design, you know.
And Llanowar Elves is what Tickal has found for his first turn. after searching up a forest with verdant catacombs. Windswept Heath is the land. Sacrifice that. And that'll be a Sakura Tribe Elder. So this deck is doing a nice job of ramping here. Search will be 3/4. It's looking at 5 mana on turn 3. There's Knight of the Reliquary.
This is a big one for Tickal. I think his best way of defending himself in the matchup is just Knights getting Ghost Quarters and Field of Ruin.
Both these players doing a lot of searching, shuffling, and shortcutting, so we'll try to keep up with it all. As Search for Tomorrow has come off of Suspend. That's why Joseph will search for a mountain. Tickal is searching for a Plains off his Windswept Heath that allowed him to cast the turn 2 Knight of the Reliquary. Hurt appeared to elect to not sacrifice Sakura Tribe Elder to have access to 5 mana on turn 3. So Joseph will draw now for the turn. Picked up a copy of Wooded Foothills.
A spot that Titan Shift and other Valakut strategies can get into sometimes is you know that your Valakut isn't long for this world. You're playing against someone who can blow up your lands and what have you. So you can get into spots where you want to keep a premium on having the ability to search for at instant speed for your lands. That can be Sakura Tribe Elder. That could be Wooded Foothills. To try to play Valakut and get as much out of it as possible the one turn that you have it.
Tickal will play a Tracker. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Get a clue token. See the hand there for Matthew. Also has another copy of Tracker, Selfless Spirit, and a couple of lands. Sakura Tribe Elder will be sacrificed now. Hurt will search for a land. We'll see which one it will be. It'll be a basic forest. Draw a card. I think he may have picked up a copy of Anger of the Gods.
Not bad. Would have preferred it maybe on the third turn, but nothing wrong with it.
Now he'll sacrifice the Wooded Foothills. I think it might be prime time. Get another forest here will hurt.
And I like how Hurt's setting this up here. We're just trying to get as many forests out of the deck as possible, leave himself as flush with mountains, because he's probably going to need, against Knight of the Reliquary, he's going to need as many triggers as he can get.
Well, he's actually going to start off here with an Anger of the Gods. Kill Tracker and Llanowar Elves. And now there's Reclamation Sage to blow up the clue.
Bang!
That's hilarious. Fair enough. Go over to Tickal. Tickal will activate his Knight of the Reliquary, sacrifice a forest.
I think I would have had a slight preference for just doing this in response to the anger, try to squeeze one more clue out.
Yep. Looks like he might be dialing up old Sturry. Stirring Wildwood?
Okay.
Ghost Quarter instead.
Like going for the card that does something as opposed to the card that does nothing.
How dare you talk about Stirring Wildwood that
it's
way.
The voice of resurgence of lands.
Yeah. It's got so much text. None of it matters. Yeah. There's Tireless Tracker. That's a forest. Get a clue. See if Tickal maybe wants to search for a land to be able to play Selfless Spirit now. Looks like the answer is no. He is going to reluctantly pass the turn back. Mountain the draw here for Hurt. Hurt with Primeval Titan in hand. Seems like a great time to cast it, so he will.
And I think because he's probably not going to be able to contest the Night of the Reliquary, I don't think he should expose any Valakut to risk.
Nope, I would just do what he's done now.
Exactly. I like this setup. You try to set up one turn where you can play a Valakut and do a bunch of things and maybe overpower the Ghost Quarters. But if you do it piece by piece, Tickal's going to be able to break that up very easily with Night of the Reliquary and his lands that destroy non-basic lands.
Float a green will Tickal and activate Night of the Reliquary. We'll see what land he wants to search up here. We'll be getting a clue. And it looks like he's considering Ghost Quarter here. Let's make it Field of Ruin instead. Again, green mana floating right now. And he'll sacrifice a clue to draw a card. One counter on the tracker. Picked up a Windswept Heath. Still has Cord in hand. All right, Birds of Paradise to draw.
And Hurt's getting, he's back in the same spot that he was in before, where he's at risk of not being large enough to attack through Night of the Reliquary and not being able to keep Valakut on the battlefield long enough to do anything of note. And he might just kind of get locked out this way.
Tickal thinking about casting a Selfless Spirit. Maybe thinking a little bit better of it. Gonna start by sacrificing a Windswept Heath. Searching for a forest. All right, now will it be the birds? Yes. Back to Joseph Hurt. Draw a card. Picked up a Valakut. I like that. Pass the turn back.
Yep. I mean, Hurt knows the game plan. Unclear if he can actually execute it because Tickal might be able to lock him out on too many fronts, but he knows what he has to do.
Tracker will allow Tickal to draw a card. He'll draw another one. Tracker's getting bigger. Collected Company has been found. Among a bevy of other options here for Matthew. He'll even activate the Knight. For what for? Who knows? We'll find out. Oh, there, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
The last piece of protection.
Get it. Get that world. Yes. The stirring Wildwood is here.
A subtly awful design. Do you want to go into this one?
Nothing better to do, man.
Biggest like cost of having creature lands is just net onboard complexity. Lands with powers are the battlefield and what's going on in your hand is already enough to keep track of.
Okay.
And so, lands ambushing and suddenly having really relevant powers is pretty bad. It's especially offensive to have one with the keyword reach that really leans into the surprise, you didn't know this was down here experience.
Matthew Tickal is turn 0 of extra turns.
At least Raging Ravine and Creeping Tar Pit, a lot of their value comes from I'm animating it, and now I'm about to attack you. What would you like to do? Still some complexity there, but the ones that have keywords that are focused on blocking are just
How are they?
Really bad.
Not good then? Okay. It looks like we're going to tender a block on that large Eye of the Reliquary here. All right. 6 damage will come through. Can Hurt actually pull this off? He'll draw a card.
Let's do it through Ghost Quarter and Field of Ruin.
Relic of Progenitus. Sack it to remove the graveyards.
Now, Relic is a step in the right direction here. Because if Hurt can use a little bit of his resources getting the Knight of the Reliquary off the battlefield, then maybe the second wave is enough to get it done.
Hurt drew, I think, a copy of Search for Tomorrow. Yep. He's going to pass. Here's Collector Company.
That felt like a window for Hurt to do something.
I felt like he could do better than pass. We're going to be going into turn 2. And now we'll go to turn 2. Now the Reliquary of the Draw. Top card, Windswept Heath from the Courser. Next one, Company.
Quick check to see if he can go wide and finish out the game.
It's possible. If Titan's your only blocker, Titan's got to block. Titan does not have to block Knight. Let's say Titan blocks Tracker. It's 2, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah, if you can get to a Gavany Township, then you're good.
No, he doesn't even need to do that. So Titan just blocks Tracker, and you've got Knight of the Reliquary, Recruiter, Courser, Selfless Spirit, and old Wildwood.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget about your friend down there.
See? I was surprised. I was suddenly ambushed by it.
You could also Field of Ruin yourself, Ghost Quarter yourself, sack a fetch land, and a whole host of other things. I believe there's a lethal attack this turn. Assuming that Joseph Hurt has nothing, and why even play around anything?
Right. If part of this line involves just pumping the Knight through the roof or being able to sack more clues to Tireless Tracker, you're not even at risk of being killed by a lightning bolt.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to fire up that Stirring Wildwood. Yeah, you're not really too concerned with much. Also because you've got that Selfless Spirit, making yourself indestructible. That is going to do it. Matthew Tickle's going to win this match over Joseph Hurt. 2-1. Counters Company will take care of Titan Shift, and for Tickle, he's 6-1 with his innovative take on Counters Company.
Yeah, turn 2 Knight of the Reliquary there fetched up too many lands that kept Hurt off balance, and Hurt really didn't have a secondary plan that game.